You got to have high, high hopes for a living. You gotta be super full after Thanksgiving. I don't even know the words to the song, but I just heard it on another video. Gotta have high, high hopes for a living. Anyway, this Cheryl Peterson from Lake Wales, Florida. Shout out to Cheryl Peterson from Lake Wales, Florida. Listen, guys, she paid me 1.3 million pesos to say that for her, so please don't put 8,000 comments. Can you shout me out, okay? That's a lot of pesos. Alright, this video was sent to me by Mike Payette or Payette or Payet. I don't know if the T's are silent. I don't know what's going on there, but Mike Payette. Thanks for sending me this. And I usually wouldn't cover a CNN story, but hey, look, they did something here. Police officers in the U.S. were charged with more than 400 rapes over a 9-year period. Let's watch these little videos in between the article, too.
Officer in Maryland faces charges accused of sexually assaulting a woman he had pulled over. Police say that Ryan Macklin was on duty at the time. The woman went to the authorities immediately after the incident, and police are concerned, though, that there could be other victims.
Information that leads us to believe that there may be additional issues, and that's why I'm asking all facets of our community to take this seriously and take a look.
Well, Macklin's been on the Prince George County PD for 6 years, and we've not heard from him or his representatives.
Okay, so there's that guy. A police officer in Prince George's County, Maryland, was charged this week with raping a woman during a traffic stop. He's pleaded not guilty. But it's a disturbing headline, even more disturbing when you consider there are hundreds more like him. Yes, hundreds. According to research from Bowling Green State University, police officers in the U.S. were charged with forcible rape 405 times between 2005 and 2013. That's an average of 45 forcible rapes a year by police officers. Forcible fondling was more common, with 636 instances. And now those are reported instances. Yet experts say those statistics are by no means comprehensive. Data on sexual assaults by police are almost non-existent, they say. It's just not available at all, said Jonathan Blanks, a research associate with Cato Institute's Project on Criminal Justice. You can only crowdsource this info. Oh. Police arrested for sex crimes, forcible fondling, 636, forcible rape, 405. These are just the arrests. Forcible sodomy, 219. Data is incomplete due to reporting and collecting limitations. In some arrests, the same officer was charged with multiple crimes. No, numbers do not include federal law enforcement. Oh my goodness gracious. The BGSU researchers compiled their list by documenting cases of sworn non-federal law enforcement officers who have been arrested. But in 2016, federally funded paper, Police Integrity Lost, a study of law enforcement officers arrested, says the problem isn't limited to sexual assault. There are no comprehensive statistics available on problems with police integrity, the report says, and no government entity collects data on police who are arrested. It adds, police sexual misconduct and cases of police sexual violence are often referred to as hidden offenses, and studies on police sexual misconduct are usually based on small samples or derived from officer surveys that are threatened by a reluctance to reveal these cases. The nation's foremost researchers on the subject thus must often rely on published media reports. The BGSU numbers, for instance, are a result of Google alerts on 48 search terms entered by researchers. The scholars then follow each case through adjudication. While those numbers represent a fair portion of cases, arrests rely on a victim making a report and a law enforcement agency making that report public, after an arrest or otherwise. With sexual assaults by police officer, neither is guaranteed. Why the numbers are lacking. One of the greatest impediments to understanding the scope of police sexual assault is the victim's reluctance to report the crime. Who do you call when your rapist or offender is a police officer? What a scary situation that must be, said Philip Stinson, an associate professor of criminal justice who served as principal investigator for Police Integrity Paper and whose research assistants maintain the BGSU database. No one interviewed for the story could give an estimate, even ballpark, on how underreported these types of crimes might be. I have to think it's much worse problem than my data suggests, said Stinson himself, a former police officer.
These allegations are truly disheartening. They're stunning. This young woman did not consent to what happened to her.
They could face 25 years and are suspended without pay. So they're still not fired. They're just facing 25 years in jail. All right, moving along here. There are several reasons behind the muddy data. The federal government cannot compel states to make the nation's 18,000 law enforcement agencies report the numbers. Even if they could, the Justice Department wouldn't have the resources to oversee and maintain such a database, Blank said. Police unions also work hard to protect police officers and their reputations, he said. They don't want their officers and membership shamed if something goes wrong, Blank said. There also can be legal hurdles to obtaining basic information such as, in such cases, he said, and that's on purpose. Okay, that's a lot of grammar there. Let's start over. There also can be legal hurdles to obtaining basic information in such cases, he said. And that's on purpose. Some states' laws shield the identities of police officers who commit crimes. Why would a state do that if they're working for the people and not themselves in corruption? While some jurisdictions include non-disclosure agreements and victim settlements, the system is rigged to protect police officers from outside accountability, Blank said. The worst cops are going to get the most protection. Hello? Who doesn't know this by now? Except for Blue Lives Matter people and the people who put the blue stickers on their car. They probably put that on the car thinking they're part of the club. You're not part of the club because you have that sticker on your car. I bet you some cops would target people with them blue stickers just to see if you're for real or not. Test your bootlick worthiness. Anyway, victims include suspects and those police are supposed to protect. What data is available paints a jarring picture. One statistic from Stinson's indicates that for every sexual assault that makes the news, there are almost always more victims, on average 5 more victims. That would mean about 2,000 forcible rapes instead of 400. About half of the victims are children, researchers say. Half of the victims of police rape, sodomy, and forcible fondling are children. You understand that? Cop lovers, cop apologists, police apologists. Half of the forcible rape, sodomy, and what the hell's the other one? Are done to children by policemen. You know, your heroes, the blue line heroes. Stinson has gotten accustomed to hearing his research assistants proclaim during their work, "Oh my God, it's another 14-year-old. Oh my God, it's another 14-year-old who was forcibly fondled, raped, or sodomized." All right, where are we going here? Victims can include both people police are supposed to be chasing and those they're charged with protecting, according to police integrity paper. Let's watch this video now. Oklahoma rape victim, cop handcuffed me to bed. I'm blue, da da dee da.
We're doing Norway in a nutshell today.
I was violated in June by a police officer. He stopped me on 50th and Lincoln for no reason whatsoever, pulled me over, and fondled me and did certain things to me. I was out there alone and helpless, didn't know what to do. And in my mind, all I could think that he was going to shoot me. He was going to kill me. He did things to me that I didn't think a police officer would do. He made me perform oral sodomy sex on him. I didn't know what to do. I was so afraid. I was afraid for my life. I kept begging him, "Sir, please don't make me do this. Don't make me do this, sir. Please. You're going to shoot me." He said, "I'm not going to shoot you." I said, "Yeah, you're going to shoot me." The only thing I could see was my life flash before my eyes and the gun in his holster on his right side. And as I tried to look up at his name, I was afraid to, because I said, if I know his name, I know he's going to kill me. So that I didn't do. So he did so many things to me, and I was so afraid, and I was out there, like I say, so helpless. God's will, he let me live. And he let me live to tell this story like a lot of victims are not able to do. And I thank God above for letting me do that. All I can say is I was a victim. I was traumatized. I went to therapy. I had a stroke behind this. And I still live with this day after day. And all I know is I wasn't a criminal. I have no record. I didn't do anything wrong. You said I did something wrong. You said I was swerving, which I was not. You just wanted...
Oh, so this woman got raped by a cop because her freedom was impeded? Because even if she did swerve, you know, it seems like it starts with traffic stops, huh? Traffic stops, or give me some ID, or you got ID?
to stop me. So all I could say is I was innocent, and he just picked the wrong lady to stop that night.
Yes.
I just want to say, on the night that I was stopped, I didn't expect for none of that to happen. And when he approached the car, I mean, I didn't know what was going to happen next. Because me and some others was just sitting in the car, and they just came and approached the car, and it went from there. And once he did the arrest, I was taken to a hospital on the whole opposite side of town, which I didn't think nothing of it at the time. And once I got there, they took off my clothes and handcuffed me to the bed and took me to a room, and no nurses, nobody came to check on me. And shortly he just started to manipulate me. And
take your time.
Me being in a room with the police, not expecting to get violated the way I did, the way I was done, I just couldn't even believe it. I was speechless. I was scared. When everything was going down, I felt I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I felt like I was in survival mode, so I had to do what he was making me do. So
That's fine. Desperate. Thank you.
All right, there you go. You guys remember these stories? Because I don't. Opportunities for sex related police crime abound because officers operate in a low visibility environment with very little supervision. That's why they hate cameras so much, because they're always up to no good. It, how come? I mean, some celebrities lash out at the paparazzi just because they're so annoying, but how is it that celebrities understand they don't have a perception of privacy in public, but public officials getting paid by public taxpayers believe that they get to work in secret and do what they want to do without being recorded by anybody because they don't like it, and they have guns, and they have flashlights. I did see a video, guys. These kids were walking by, these cops, and they were recording, and there was a cop sitting inside the passenger side of the cruiser while the other one was on the outside. And as the kids are walking by and are basically parallel with the side door, the passenger door, the cop inside the car flashes his flashlight at the kid, and the kid's like, "F you, bro." He has his own flashlight and shined his flashlight in the cop's face. And then the cop got super pissed about that. Imagine that. He didn't like a light being shined in his face. And gets out of the car and starts talking crap. And that kid's like, "Don't shine your light in my face and I won't shine it in yours." How's that for a sidetrack? Anyway, hope I can find that video again someday. I've seen so many I want to report on, but just not enough time away from the buffet. Anyway, the potential victims of sex-related police crime include criminal suspects, but also unaccompanied victims of crime. Experts say officers who prey on people they encounter while on duty take advantage of the trust the public places in police as an institution. Who really trusts the police? People who trust the police, it's a brand. Police is basically a brand. And this brand has been embossed into your head since a kid and again, until something bad happens to you, until they steal some of your money, until they tackle your wife, until they punch you in the face, until they rape your daughter, that perception you have of police is going to be a trustworthiness that a guy like me knows better. And that's why people get so mad at me, because they don't know what I've researched, what I've seen, what I've been through. All right, police have a reputational advantage over anyone, especially someone accused of a crime, Blank said, explaining that regular Gallup polls show again and again that police are third only to the military and small business owners in terms of trust. That's the brainwashing. People want to believe the police. Yes, they do. I don't know why, but considering the history, it's because you don't know anything about police and haven't done any research into what police culture is and how they execute the laws. That's why you don't understand. That's why you get upset at guys like me. Offenders who seek to victimize people know this, experts say, and they strategically select victims, bolstering their chances of not getting caught. Researchers find that a predominance of victims fall into at least one of several categories. They have criminal records, are homeless, are sex workers, or have issues with drug or alcohol abuse. Essentially, predatory cops are picking on people whose juries won't believe or who don't trust the police. The ripple effect. To be clear, the majority of police officers are good people, not sexual predators. Okay, I would agree with that. Every expert interviewed for this story concurs on this point, but the problem is much larger than individual officers, said author and former Seattle Police Chief Norm Stamper. I think it's a huge problem, he said. In reality, there's probably no law enforcement agency that has not had this problem. The ripple effect can be devastating to a community. Stamper, who was a policeman in San Diego for 28 years, before taking the helm in Seattle in 94, recalled when California Highway Patrol Officer Craig Payer was convicted of the on-duty killing of student Kara Knott after a traffic stop. Traffic stops, people. They're far more dangerous to the person being stopped. And here's some more stats. Indecent exposure, sexual assault with an object. Oh, it's statutory. They go after the young girls too. No San Diego officer was tangentially involved. Tangentially. Wow. Someone's trying to sound smart in this article. Involved. Yet the department experienced enormous trust issues with the community. Oh, what a shocker. Residents were fearful, and some motorists were anxious about being pulled over, said Stamper, whose books address the dark side of policing and how to fix it. It cheats good cops, he said. If a police officer is arrested for having fondled a DUI suspect in a jurisdiction, that affects all officers. That's true. The trust issue is only exacerbated by the blue wall of silence that's erected when an officer is accused of a crime, he said. That's to be expected, Stamper said, because officers rely heavily on each other, especially in dangerous situations, and ratting out a colleague can mean trouble for an officer the next time she or he needs backup. So not only are they on the blue line of secrecy, they also scared for their own safety that if they did the right thing and turned in a bad cop, that next time they're up against the wall, they'll be like, oh yeah, you turn one of ours in. Again, that's the gang mentality, and that's how they want it. They want it to be us versus them. In fact, if cops were good guys, they would ask us what's going on. They would ask the community, hey, what's going on here? Have you seen anything? Blah, blah, blah. Instead, they want it to be us versus them, and that's what they got. If I'm a snitch, then the chance that my fellow officers will not have my back is significant, the former police chief said. Some possible solutions. Stamper and others believe the solution lies in revamping police culture. Yeah. The paramilitary, bureaucratic structure produces a dysfunctional culture, Stamper said, adding that for one of the most delicate and demanding jobs in America, officers largely go unsupervised. Ex-cop sentenced to 263 years for rape. Now look at him crying. Oh, man. Were you crying when you were doing the raping? It's going to play a commercial, I'm sure.
For victims and supporters in the Daniel Holtzclaw case, it was a day for singing. A day for justice.
And this is a victory, not only in the courtroom, but a victory over rape for all women all over the world.
A day they'd waited on for oh so long.
I know I couldn't have did this alone without you guys' help. And I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
Daniel Holtzclaw entered court in shackles on Thursday, facing a possible 263-year sentence, a sentencing that hundreds turned out to see, delayed more than 4 hours as patience wore thin.
Even with the filing of the motion of a new trial, it does not inhibit him giving a sentencing, which should have happened 2 hours ago.
In the end, though, Judge Henderson stuck with the jury, sentencing Daniel Holtzclaw to 263 years to be served consecutively, celebrated by victims and prosecutors alike.
Many victims believe that no one will believe them, and I will tell you, these women didn't think that either, but we did, and you see what happened.
I don't think 263 years was enough. Specific to sexual assault, experts would like to see departments enact policies to make victims feel safe, Stinson said, which could include online or anonymous reporting and special officers trained in dealing with sexual assault victims. Yeah, like special officers that don't work for the same department as the accused rapist. That'd be a good start. GPS tracking of officers, especially those with take-home vehicles. You mean this doesn't happen already? And monitoring of officers. If a supervisor notices a patrolman predominantly stops women between the ages of 18 and 30 at the same time of night in the same part of town, it would raise red flags. How is that not already incorporated? They sure all have tasers, and they sure do all have, and they sure, why am I talking like this? And they sure do have AR-15s with 10, 30 round mags, even though they only put 27 rounds. That way they won't wear out the spring inside the magazine. I can't be doing these long articles anymore, man. My voice is cracking. I'm running out of aspartame. I can't believe that GPS tracking of officers isn't already a thing. Don't you want to know where they're at? What they're doing? Oh my goodness, how is that possible? Rules forbidding departments from hiring officers who were fired from other agencies, which happens too frequently, Stamper said. Again, if you're an honest agency and you're hiring cops who got fired from other jurisdictions, why would you do that? There's no one you can find that hasn't been fired from another department. Seriously? Again, this just shows police culture. They don't care. It's like they're a criminal culture. All right. Mandates that officers must activate their body cams and dash cams be punished if they don't. How about you just make dash cams they can't turn off? How about that? Mandates that officers must activate. No, just leave it running. Every second you're on the clock, every second you're on duty, just leave it running. And then turn it in at the end of the night, and that can be stored on a server or whatever they're called, a hard drive for 50 million years. Get out of here with that nonsense. Occasional sting operations involving internal affairs aimed at ensuring police officers are appropriately interacting with the public. How about involving external affairs? Because internal affairs is garbage. Internal affairs, no. That's talk about sovereign citizens. People who think the rules don't apply to them, the laws don't apply to them. Where's the citizens' internal affairs? No, I don't want to go to the court. I'm just going to handle this internally. I have an internal affairs department. We'll take your complaint. It's critical supervisors trust officers, but trust is earned, Stamper said, adding that the job is too important to trust officers blindly. Yeah, no kidding. Police chiefs and sheriffs defending bad cops also erodes trust, and they do it all the time. He finds himself frustrated, he said, every time he sees a police executive step into a podium to decry bad apples responsible for a crime that has tainted a department. If they repeatedly go back to that bank of microphones to bemoan the bad apples, it's time to look at the barrel and look at the orchard, he said. National standards. I can't wait. I can't. Interrogation video released of ex-cop convicted of rape. Okay. Licensed officers. Oh my goodness. I'm done, man. I'm done. Oh no. Okay, I guess I can do. Accountability is critical to changing police culture, experts say. Stamper believes uniformity via the licensing of individual officers and the certification of police departments is key. All 18,000 departments operate under their own rules based on their traditions, policies, procedures, and recruitment methods, he said. Notice he didn't say all departments operate under the Constitution. Now, he didn't say that once there. He believes creating national standards not for small things but for larger constitutional issues could improve the quality of policing. All right, I'll play this video and then I'm done, man. It's going on a half hour. I'm losing my voice. I need more popcorn. Commercial.
The quiet Daniel Holtzclaw we saw in the courtroom,
You have the right to remain silent.
decided to speak up without an attorney and answer to allegations of sexual assault.
You haven't heard any rumors? She's saying that you made her lift up her shirt, and when she lifted up her shirt, she exposed her breasts. But could she have been, woo, flashing you? And now you don't want to tell me because you're afraid you're going to get in trouble?
No. When I told her no, I said no.
For more than 2 hours, Holtzclaw told his side of the story about his now fateful traffic stop with 57-year-old Jenny Liggins.
What's the deal? You know, why are you swerving?
Do you recall putting your penis in her mouth?
I don't.
Would you recall that if you did it? A thing that kind of concerns me is everything you're telling me is dead on to what she says. Everything. Except the sexual stuff.
Nothing was done.
Even through redirected questions, the then Oklahoma City police officer maintained his innocence.
I'm just trying to think of anything that she could have misconstrued.
I've never been in trouble like this before. Never got accused of anything like this or nothing.
Holtzclaw states the only sex he tried to have that day was with his still sleeping girlfriend when he got home.
I don't know what to say, because it just looks like I just caught you in a lie, and now I don't know what to believe.
I'm telling you.
I don't know what to believe.
In the end, Holtzclaw willingly strips down for DNA samples before calling his girlfriend.
I need to tell you what's going on. It's crazy.
It's the last time he'll wear that uniform, and only the first step toward conviction on 18 counts of sex crimes.
All right, I'm done reading, man. There you go. Story wore me out. But I'm sure all the police apologists and the haters still find a way to excuse police and their culture of violence and their rape culture and their spousal abuse culture and on. Hey, Cream Phil Donut and Mike the Sovereign, please defend this. Did you guys cover the story here? Look what's going on this website too while you're reading this story. Guest of honor Barack Obama speaks at Rice University. I don't care. And before that, it said Bill and Hillary Clinton are about to start a 13-tour stop. Like, how are you two still walking around free? How's Bill and Hillary walking around free? Bill is a known rapist. He is the GOAT of Me Too movement. He should be hashtag Bill Clinton GOAT, hashtag Me Too. Or it should be hashtag Bill Clinton pound Me Too. Anyway. Alright. If you're still watching this, man, I love you. Come here. Let me nuzzle you. Come here. Yeah, you like that? Yeah. Alright, please like, subscribe. Go to John's Coin Rings on Etsy. Get something nice for Christmas. Get yourself something nice. Alright. Peace, tranquility, no victim, no crime. Subscribe, join, click the bell, click the thumbs up. Eat popcorn. Bye.